Hello, everyone. Welcome to WJLP. My name is Jackson Elpers, and here's your weekly forecast for the 21st of April, 2025. Guess we can start things out with kind of the current radar as we see things. Of course, we had that weather kind of pass through the front, push through, got us stalled out here over Kansas, Missouri, Arkansas, bringing plenty of tornadoes along. Um, Kind of just west of the Mississippi Ohio confluence before kind of pushing through yesterday through the Ohio River Valley and finally reaching its way into the Tennessee River Valley today. But just kind of a dreary rain um, from what we saw here. Huntsville, Decatur, stuff like that. But looks like we have some progressing storms here in central Alabama making their way up north here, and we can kind of take a look at. I think we can take a look at the forecast. Yeah, have that run through. Again, it's saying it's pushing along this line, but so far this weather has been kind of a bit more active and starting new stuff here, but the weather's kind of continuing north, so maybe a bit more rain with some lightning there um, into tonight for the northern Alabama into Chattanooga areas. But um, go ahead, switch over here to the Euro. Again, this is Monday current time, but we'll go ahead and let it progress. We'll kind of see this front just kind of stall over North Alabama, bringing some kind of pop-up storms as heating increases into the evening. This is Tuesday night into Wednesday morning. We still kind of see it's a long kind of this axis again popping up Wednesday afternoon. We see a bit of kind of initiation here as we see wind coming up, starting to cycle over the Midwest into Thursday night. Friday, we slowly see it coming over again. Rotations starting over kind of northern Illinois. Storms now across all of kind of Kentucky, Tennessee, stuff like that, into Friday afternoon. And again, it's kind of noisy there. You see the circulation there. I can't really make out a dry. It looks like it's just kind of a warm front, um, just sucking in moisture and then trying to push out here. So maybe some pop ups, maybe something organized here Friday afternoon along Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi, all the way up into Huntsville. It almost kind of looks like a front is there. Um, you can see the turning of the winds to follow along that shift there, but there's nothing really kind of concrete, I guess. So Friday, I guess the weather there kind of uh, what to look out for. Um, Maybe some with the warm moisture that we're getting throughout the week. It's going to be kind of quick delight here again at noon. I believe that's central, and see plenty of storms popping up. So um, likely good amount of rain, lightning, possibility for hail. I don't really see enough organization for tornadoes, but we'll leave that up to the SPC to figure out. And again, this thing continues off into East Coast before finally really organizing off into the Atlantic. And then we see here end of Sunday. We'll come into Monday a little bit. Another little, like I guess it's a little trough that's made its way across kind of the central U.S. That'll bring a bit of rain, maybe some storms to the Ohio River Valley Monday. So, ooh, get a little look at Monday night here. So this could be, well, You got rotation up here. You got some storm initiation over Oklahoma, Arkansas, Kansas, Missouri. Again, this is next week, so something to possibly keep an eye out on as this thing pushes across. Again, it's cycling. It looks like it's loving the day heating of the cycling here. This front is put. Whoa! Okay. That's fine. Maybe some pop ups, but something to look forward to next week, end of next week. Um, is potentially severe, but come back here. We'll take a look at the GFS as well. Not as exact, could kind of much more generalized storms that the GFS tries to make here. Again, we still see that axis slightly tilted, but a lot of this weather kind of associated around lower Mississippi, mid South, into Tennessee River Valley. This is again Thursday. Some heating again will pop up some storms. We see this rotation coming through Friday. I mean, a little bit of a front here. This is it looks like GFS is saying this will stay further north than what we saw with the Euro and that band down here. But again, organizing Saturday over the Atlantic. Um, Possibly some severe weather over North Carolina. So, um, yeah, it just seems like kind of a rainy, stormy week for the southern states here. Possibly some nicer weather. Let's check a little bit of the wind here for tomorrow. Um, yeah, it doesn't really look like much here. Not much breeze behind this, pushing behind this front. So it might just kind of be a bit of kind of a warm. I mean, let's see, dew points 40, 50, mid 50s there. It gets up to 55, 63. So we do see some good warm, moist air being pulled up for that Friday storm. Um, Temperatures as well. We've got 73 in Huntsville. This is Friday. Let's see, Tuesday. 71's kind of across the board. 73, 79 in Nashville. So possibly some warmer weather. We see some storms cooling things off here Thursday afternoon. Friday, kind of similar, 82 in Birmingham, 84 Atlanta, 70 in Louisville. But again, that is when that weather is pushing across, so things will definitely be cooling off there. We'll go ahead, check the SPC, work our way back here to day one. Wind, the real threat, possibly for tonight, remaining, maybe hail as well. But again, this will run till 7 a.m. tomorrow. We get some good severe weather over Texas. Again, this is that front that's starting to generate, or kind of rotation that's starting to generate up over, is that Wyoming, South Dakota, Nebraska, bringing a lot of that more moist air in here and stability into Texas, Oklahoma, Kansas. Slight chance of tornadoes, so really just a wind and hail threat. There, again, same thing as it starts to kind of gather steam here. Not really like gather steam. It's not really organized enough, but predictability too low for everything between Friday and or Thursday and next Monday. So nothing too confident, but we'll keep an eye out for that Friday system as it gets a little bit closer. Let's just take a look at the old College of page. Hop up here. Hop into the numerical models. Let's check the Euro. Just take a look over at contiguous US. So this is the weather that's pushing through currently. We see that, again, kind of change its axis here to be along the Tennessee, Alabama, Mississippi, Georgia border. And just see kind of some day heating as these storms pulse in the afternoons before getting to that Friday system that we see here. Bit of rotation there. There's our front. And again, there's our lower. Let's see if we can scroll this in here. Here we go. We see that kind of push out here, but again, lining up with that's 16 Zulu. That's 4 p.m. Friday Central. So possibly just some pop-up storms that kind of look organized enough to be something. We'll go ahead, take a look at bulk shear, dew points. Again, we see the dew point line in that same axis across here. So wet weather south of it, some nicer weather up north, before that warm air gets kind of sucked and pushed into more of the get kind of close to the Great Lakes, Ohio River Valley, along that area. So that's again the Friday timeline when now that warm air is being sucked up there. Saturday, still some warm areas, so still trying to progress through, but you kind of see it push out there, and this new warm sector comes in ready for next week's system, which again, we'll keep an eye out for that. Convective products, don't really have, let's see, Cape. Cape's usually indicative of kind of how much juice is there for the atmosphere to use. It's, kind of indicative of some tornadic activity. Doesn't really look like much for that Friday storm. Really, you're looking for values kind of breaching 2,000 for some good storms. So starting to get green, but again, that's all over the Great Plains. Nothing really reaching out into here. This is Saturday, so possibility some pop-ups, but again, that's still a few days out, and not indicative of really much. Let's see, GFS. Take a look at its dew points. You kind of see something similar. Axis there, sucked up over the next few days. There's Friday, and then Saturday kind of sees that cooling off and kind of the new injection of warm, moist air up in the Great Plains for next week's system to push through. This is looking like Thursday, maybe Wednesday night is when that front might push through. So keep an eye for middle of next week. I think it really kind of boils it down there. So in short, pop back up here, the rain. Southern states expect rain kind of throughout the week here. Maybe some clear mornings, maybe not tomorrow. It's just still some rain. North Alabama kind of clears up in the evening time. Mornings look fine before warming up enough to ignite some storms. Thursday rolls in, same deal there. Friday, we see a bit more of that push through, but still the pop-ups kind of happening all the way through the week. Saturday, there's a lot of this blue, but that could also be already pushed out of here, and the ensemble or the Euro model might not be very confident in this run just yet. So this should sharpen up as the week comes along, and I guess we'll see if anything's issued for Friday afternoon for anything really east of the Mississippi here. And then bring it back to the start, anything kind of north of Nashville should see some fairly nice weather into Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday even, or Friday. you kind of see all that moist air being sucked up and the storms rolling through. So a nice week for the Ohio River Valley um, coming up in the next few days before everyone gets dumped on Friday. So I'll really pretty much cap it. Stay tuned to the Discord for any severe weather updates, any updates from SPC. I'll post them in there. And yeah, I guess don't really have a topic because I'm literally making this one right after I made the intro video. But I guess we can kind of run through, what kind of drives me to be interested in the weather. Um, you know, humans are pattern recognition freaks, I guess. We're always looking for some sort of method to a madness, and the weather's no joke. Um, we've come a lot further recently, especially with the use of algorithms, models, computers increasing their performance and being able to provide us information to make educated guesses on. Um, but a lot of what the models do is when I was showing the Euro, the GFS models, those are ensemble models, and ensemble takes the Euro might run 20 different models, and the ensemble will take various different strengths of different confidences in the individual runs that it does, and each one of those runs will have tiny parameters tweaked between each one to produce all sorts of different results. So um, I mean, you can go into chaos theory, which leads to your double pendulums if you're familiar with that. And there's a lot to try and make of something that we can really just get like localized data in with satellites or balloons, weather balloons, or soundings or anything like that. So um, not only does trying to basically get it right, predict it, inform those that need to know of any impending weather. It's also nice to be able to be that person that basically says, "Hey, I'm noticing, there's some severe weather on the way. Are you in your safe spot?" And then them being like, "Oh yeah, thanks for checking in." It's a good way to check in with others that you might not talk to as much. On a regular basis. It's a way to kind of connect with people. And then there's just some things in the weather that are just, I mean, devastating but awesome. Like, there might be a satellite video of a hurricane going category 5, and, you're just like, that eye itself is 20 miles wide and it makes it look tiny. So it just puts things like that into perspective of, you know, there's some global scale operations going on here with winds, rain, and moisture, and all sorts of stuff like that. So the more that you can kind of educate yourself on it, the more you kind of open up into specific parts of the weather, like tornadoes. You might get really into tornadoes and all the nit and gritty there. You might get into hurricanes. You might just be only like snow or something like that. So um, it's got a lot like any sort of niche like that, but it's something that affects us every single day. So, I'm not sure about future topics. I'm sure I can kind of lay it out, or I'll make some graphics or something like that, or a little PowerPoint if I have the time again. But um, yeah, still kind of learning, figuring out what to do with these. Besides kind of giving updates, but uh, feel free to let me know if you want to see anything or want me to kind of discuss anything in the educational part, or if you just want to have the educational part separate or from the actual forecast, I can do that as well, or even split up days on when all this stuff happens. I think still provide a forecast on Mondays because that's when I'm most free, and then um, maybe I could do a 10-minute video on something educational, um, on Wednesdays or Thursdays, or probably Thursdays, um, or anything like that. But I'll stop rambling. Thank you for watching. If you want to, you can join the Discord in the description below. If not, I guess I'll see you next Monday, unless Friday's weather gets interesting. So, thanks all for joining, and I'll see you later. Bye.